All right, John, I'm so happy that you're here and doing this interview for the Mylands community. I can't wait to teach the community from your experiences.
Glad to be here.
Perfect. So the first question for you, John, is can you just tell me a little about the problem that you solved?
Sure. So at my business, the Drug Rehab Agency, we help businesses and entrepreneurs open up drug rehab centers. So we help guide our clients through the complicated process of, securing funding for a venture like this, determining what kind of staff is needed. There's a whole host of complex regulatory laws that our clients have to navigate through. As you can imagine, anything relating to healthcare, we have to negotiate with insurers. We have to have certain kinds of software and systems in order to run a business like this. So what our team does is we guide our clients through that entire process. We provide ongoing consultative support. We'll assist with things like mergers and acquisitions. We'll do C-suite consulting, and then we also do digital marketing for our clients. Because of our in-depth knowledge of our clients and their brands, it positions us really well to be able to do things like define their brand voice, to create a website for them, to run their search engine optimization efforts, their paid media advertising. So we really help our clients in a very niche and specific industry. And what's really cool about it all is it's an industry that I think makes a really tangible impact in the lives of individuals and members of the community.
That's great. Can you tell me a little more about the types of clients that you have?
Yeah, so we work with all kinds of clients. We work with, some of our clients are, sometimes they're doctors who are looking to open up their own treatment center, right? Maybe they're a psychiatrist or a primary care physician, and they want to be able to offer more specialized care. Sometimes it's entrepreneurs, right? We work with some people, a really common story is, we'll have a client call us up and they'll say, hey, I went to rehab, I got sober, it changed my life, it saved my marriage, I want to, pay that back to the community. And so we'll help them go through the process of starting a treatment center. Sometimes we'll work with real estate developers who already have properties within their portfolio, and they kind of see the value of something like this, and they want to get started. And then probably the last group I'd say that we work with is sometimes we do work with equity groups, right, who are familiar with the healthcare system in America and are familiar with the opportunity. And so same thing, we'll help them break into the industry. But I'd say that most often we probably work with individuals or couples is really common, husband and wife team who want to do this together.
Sounds lovely. Can you dive into a project that you did in the past to make this whole thing a bit more concrete?
Absolutely, yeah. So a great example would be we had a husband and wife in Los Angeles. They came to us, and the husband is a doctor, and she is the administrator of the clinic. And so they came to us and they said, hey, we see the need, for addiction treatment in our community. Obviously, the last 2 years have been really hard for, mental health and for addiction across America, and, especially in their community. And so they said, hey, we want to open up a rehab clinic, but we don't know how to get started. We don't know where to begin. And so, we sat down with them and, helped them define, all right, what's your go-to-market strategy? What's your mission? What's your vision? What are, your corporate values? And then we also help them with preparing a financial projection, right? It's really important with a venture like this to understand how much it's going to cost, and, at what point do you think that you can start to make a return on investment? So, we help them with all the financial projections and analysis. And then from there, we guided them through the process of, okay, here's how we apply for the state license. And, the states, as part of that application process, they're going to need a copy of your policies and procedures, and they're going to want to know what kind of electronic medical record system you're going to use, right? So we help them with, drafting those policies, or we'll help them select the right software. And then, kind of throughout that engagement, we'll guide them through, okay, here's what we need to look for in staffing. So we have copies of job descriptions that our clients are able to use. We'll assist with screening and hiring candidates. We've got a pretty comprehensive onboarding package for our clients. So we'll even help with the onboarding, the hiring, or the training, so that they have a team that is ready to run this. The way we try to present it is, look, you come to us, and within about 6 months or so, we're able to hand you a fully functioning business that is fully operable, and you're ready to oversee it.
Wow, that sounds like a very full stack support that you provide.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah,
That's
we try
absolutely
to do
fantastic.
as yeah, we try to do as much as we can because it's I mean we're in a certain sense we're almost a business incubator, right? We almost guide our clients from idea to to launching in the market. So yeah, we try to be able to provide services at every step along the way. There's very little that we say no. We don't know how to do that or can't do that. At this point we've got a pretty experienced team, so we're able to do a lot.
That's amazing. Okay, so this is like very, very specific, helping people open drug rehab agencies. How did you get into it?
Yep. I got into it earlier this year. So just to share a little bit about my own story, about a year ago, my own mental health was struggling. And unfortunately, I ended up in a psychiatric ward after a failed suicide attempt. That's how bad things were. And, when I was there, I really found myself asking, like, what's the legacy that I want to leave behind? I've previously been working doing Salesforce implementations, and Salesforce is great. I love that community. I love that work. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel like I was making a tangible impact in the world or in the lives of, the people that I cared about. And so, I started to look for something that I felt like would left place. And so I actually acquired this business earlier this year. I sought it out and went through the merger and acquisition process. I was able to raise funding for it. And so I got into it about 6 months ago.
Wow, so it has only been 6 months since you started this consulting business.
Yeah. Yep. The firm has been in existence since 2014, but it was up for sale. It's been up for sale for a little while, and so I was able to come in and acquire it.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Where did you find, where did you even start looking for this? Like where do you
One
shop
day
for
I
this?
was, yeah, it was funny. I was one day, I think I literally just Googled businesses for sale, and I came across there's a couple of business listing websites, kind of like Zillow for businesses, right? I think I found this one maybe on bizbuysell.com or biznet maybe. But you can go on there and just like with a house, you can see, all right, this is the opportunity, this is the asking price, these are the details. But yeah, I just found it cold online.
That's amazing. And how many people do you have working on like under you in this business?
Yeah, we're a pretty lean team. We've got about 5 or 6 people, and they do everything from the business plans and the pro formas. We have clinical consultants who can consult on kind of more the medical side of things. We have former operators of drug rehab centers on our team, so we have people who've actually run this business before and actually know what it takes to be successful in this industry.
It's really nice. And how are you thinking about growing the business?
Yeah, it's a great question. We're in a very fortunate position to have a really strong organic pull. We do really well on a couple of key search terms on our website. So, what I'm really focused on is rounding out the brand identity. I'd say that we've got a great website, we've got a great team, we've got a great product offering, but it's not necessarily reflected on our website at the moment. And so, I get a lot of the same questions asked about who we are, our background, our client references, and at the moment that's not necessarily reflected on our website. So I'm really focused on, okay, how can I create a brand identity that pairs up with with the product and with the customer experience and reflects that and communicates that online. So I really want to start to develop a brand identity because this is because it's a niche market. It's also a pretty small industry, right? There's a lot of conferences. Everyone is just 1 or 2 degrees of separation away from each other. So I want to be able to create a brand identity that really stands out, so that when people see our logo or hear our name, they know exactly who we are.
It's amazing. And you mentioned that people find you on some Google searches. Is that the main way that you get clients today?
Yeah, that's the primary way that we get clients. And so obviously if you have a good website, it's also really important to maintain that ranking, right? There's always competitors who are putting out content. So we also do a heavy emphasis on content creation, on producing content that is optimized for for Google, backlinking efforts, things like that. So there's also always a strong push for content because, again, I think one of the ways that we can create a strong brand is to position ourselves as thought leaders in the space, right? So that looks like talking about the latest industry trends. That looks like having in-depth content that's that's relevant to our clients and to our prospects. I try to focus more so on long-form content. Pretty much everything that we produce is 1,000 words or longer, because I really want the clients to feel like it's not just a shallow, here's how to open a rehab center in 5 easy steps. No, like I'd rather give some really actionable information that demonstrates our knowledge and expertise in the area.
And is that also what you've seen work best for SEO?
Absolutely, yeah. With SEO, Google seems to prefer longer forms of content. I think there's obviously advantages to having more words on a page. Google also looks at things like how long is someone on a page, what kind of backlinks are happening there. And so again, if we're putting out quality content, that's the kind of things that the search engines notice.
It's amazing. Okay, and how are you? How do you balance the personal life versus the business life?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to work remotely for the last 6 years now, and so I think that I'm pretty skilled in that way. What I've done for myself, and this, not everyone is able to do this, but just for myself, is I've been able to find a work schedule that works for me. So what I found is the traditional 9 to 5. That's not actually necessarily the best way for me to work. Sometimes what works best for me is to get up in the morning, check my email, catch up on messages throughout the day. But then it's also really important for me to be able to spend time with family, to take the dogs for a walk, to to go to appointments. And so I'll actually often get a lot of my work done in the evenings when it's quiet, when there's not a lot going on, and then that frees up more time for me throughout the day to to be able to again catch some fresh air or focus on what's needed. So I think that's unfortunately that's not the case for everyone. I don't think that everyone has a situation where they can do that, but for myself, I've just been able to find a schedule that works for me.
Amazing. Okay, final question for you, Jon. What are those 2 guitars doing there? Are you a guitar player on your spare time?
I am. Those are a motivation. I haven't played for the last 2 years or so, and so I put that up there to remind myself, hey, slow down and practice. I very rusty right now, but again, talking about ways to try to do that, it's a reminder of like, okay, stop the working. The emails will still be there in the morning, the Slack messages will still be there, and just spend a couple minutes playing. So I wouldn't say I'm any good right now, but I like it.
Yeah, good for motivation and great for looking great on Zoom calls.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. It has been such a pleasure talking to you today, Jon. I'm sure that the community will learn so much from hearing this interview.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Happy to answer any questions.
Sweet.